As you can see, we are in a fine champagne bar with some, let's say, 10 out of 10 music. We're obviously having a lot of champagne and sweet dancing girls. Sorry, no, this is a metal cruise thing. And we have Omnium Gatherum from Finland here. Finnish metal being the, best thing ever. Or something. Or maybe I'm biased. Anyway, we have two fine gentlemen here, Jonas and Markus, who I'm gonna ask some stupid-ass questions because obviously we are drinking beer, and drinking beer never leads to anything good. Does that actually make sense? What do you think, Jonas?
It's usually the exact opposite, because I ordered this beer from the desk. I asked for something light, Mexican, and what I got was this very Mexican. As you can see, Finnish as fuck. And
yes, this is the traditional Finnish beer with kukko, rooster, or like in Finland it goes cock.
I didn't ask for cock, but I got one.
You didn't exactly want cock in your mouth, but that's how it's ended.
Yeah, that's not usually, but sometimes what happens. But
so let's make metal dangerous again.
Yeah, let's not.
All right, guys. Now to the more serious side. You're here to play on a cruise, but this is not your first cruise or even second cruise. So are you a both melodic, death metal, progressive, whatever band? Or how do you define yourself?
Slowly we are becoming a both band, I think, because this is maybe third or something both gig for us, and we are playing also full metal cruise this spring, so I don't know what's happening. Some band bar, both gigs, we're getting old. Definitely.
These both kind of metal cruise things are relatively new, well, outside United States anyway, but it seems they kind of make sense. Do you think this is the future of metal, sailing to open vast oceans and serve booze to people and then some metal and that's all?
Well, it's always been at least a Finnish thing, like we have the Baltic Sea, so we have these boats going from Finland to Estonia or Sweden, and in a nutshell, it's a really stupid idea. Have a boat full of people drunk, hell, a lot of booze, and then they're just stuck in the boat. It's like a cage. It doesn't make any sense, but it's fun. So why not bring some metal into it? So hopefully it's the future of metal. It's way more nicer than old festival kind of atmosphere where everyone can escape, because you cannot escape here.
We're pretty much stuck here, and that makes kind of a wonderful, yet also a terrifying place at the same time. But you've been experiencing these type of things before, and how does this Finnish setting is different apart from the one in the States and whatnot?
Well, difference. We've only been in 70,000 tons of metal in Caribbeans. The only difference is that you cannot find this kind of place there because here is no metal. We found like non-metal place from Metal Cruise, and in that another boat, the metal is being played in elevator, in breakfast buffet, in toilets, in whatever. I think this is nice.
So, do you think we actually need a break from metal, or is it a kind of a myth that we just 24/7 horns up and all that stuff?
I'm not. I need a break.
What about you, sir?
Never been that way. I think it's some kind of conspiracy to breed new metal generation on this boat where you cannot escape. You have certain amount of people breeding on these cruise ships, breeding the next generation of metalheads, which is pretty fucking scary.
It's like they call them cabins, but they are like breeding chambers of coming metal babies.
So the next Ridley Scott movie will be about breeding metal people in these chamber pits.
Exactly, yeah. In a nutshell, yeah.
Okay, now we let's get back to
Metal alien.
Med aliens.
let's get back to the business, shall we? If you had to define your own band, like let's assume this, there are lots of people who are like Omnium. What? How would you describe kind of selling points? How would you describe your band to the audience? Like, what are you guys all about in your own words?
We are just guys who like At the Gates and Toto, and we would like to play either of songs of those bands, but we cannot, so it ends up like Omnium Gatherum. Perfect mix of Toto and At the Gates.
Do you agree with this, sir?
That's pretty much sums up it. So it's pretty much adult-oriented death metal.
Adult-oriented.
Yeah.
What about the kids? Who thinks of the kids nowadays?
Not me. My kids are grown up already, so I'm free to do whatever I want.
Let's talk about a little bit at the lyrical side. How much you can enlighten us about your lyrics, what they are all about, why they are interesting, why should people actually read the lyrics or listen to the lyrics you're singing about?
That's a hard question because it's pretty much our vocalist's stream of consciousness, what he... I don't have a good answer for this question because I have no idea what he sings about.
Next guy.
I'm just a guitar player also.
I just play in the band.
Yeah, it's just you can have some kind of continuum in. He sings about life itself, whatever that means. But it's really weird words of the weird guy. So if you're weird enough, you can find really cool stories from those lines. But we're just guitarists, you know.
What keeps you going nowadays regarding, I mean, how you create new songs, how you do riffs? It must be a little bit different at this age, considering like when it was back in the teenager years.
Yeah, of course it is, but it's... I don't know what is the driving force behind this, because we are really highly into this. I think almost more than when we were teenagers, because we are really doing this serious now, or serious, and this is like our job. And mainly it's in this band. It's about friendship. We love to travel together. It's a really, really, really nice excuse to be alcoholist, play in a band, because it's not wrong. Everyone says you have to drink when you are playing metal, and that's about it. But for the love of music, we've always been really into the music. Like, we are huge music fans, like you can see. Really death metal shirts and all, but I guess that's the thing.
The eternal question
What you
is,
love.
the eternal question besides booze and drugs is obviously, so what about them groupies? Are you like all married guys, like, we don't have time or possibility to do that shit? Or, I mean, has it never ever even been a thing in the band? Because it's so much a kind of a myth created, like all the rock and roll bands, they just, you know, bone so many groupies and whatnot. But is it a different case with metal bands such as yours?
Of course, it used to be a thing. Now I'm married, so my lips are sealed for the younger years. So same thing with almost all our guys. So we are boring old men just playing metal. At the moment, you never know when the divorce comes, but at the moment we are happy.
The question then is metal or rock and roll in that respect, is it dangerous or interesting in that sense if there is no, say, weird adventures ahead except for boozing? What else there is to, except for, you know, play technical stuff and create music for loving audience?
I don't know, maybe the wild years of metal they're long gone by now. At least for our generation. I don't know about the youngsters who come up after us, building the next generation of metal music, but for us it's more about doing what you love, still doing what you love after years and years and years for doing it, and still making it in the business. And for me that's the main thing. Just get to do what you love and not to love what you do.
Do you ever feel like bored, like or stuck in a dead end with your band? I mean, is there ever a feeling like I need a break, I need to do something else, like musically or otherwise?
Of course. You can ask the same exact question from a accountant or a guy who works in a bar or something like that.
But accountants do not have an audience. You know that? Okay. Jokes aside. My point is, do you have like a vent, like other bands or projects that you just put your effort you cannot use in this particular band?
Yeah, of course I do. But mainly my outlets for doing something else is totally different than music. My outlets are in the nature, for example, of fishing and stuff like that.
So you're a nature guy. What can you tell about Finnish nature in your perspective? What would be the reason why any metalhead, besides metal obviously, should and would come to Finland?
Don't do that, because we like our privacy.
What about you, sir? Which are your outlets outside music? What do you need to do that Omnium Gatherum as a band cannot, fulfill or whatever?
I'm also a nature guy and I love the sea. That's why I'm living in Kotka, which is near sea. I love the sea. Like in wintertime you can go walking in the ice with your dog, and in the summertime it's really important for me to go in the near islands with the boat and fish, and that's a good thing to cherish in Finland, the nature, because we have really cool, clean nature, vast forests. This is not like visit China and Japan and the more you see the world, more you can respect your own nature and own Finland.
So green is not always greener on the other side of the fence?
No, it might be even grayer in the another side of the border.
About music, Finland is always regarded the same way as in Sweden, that there's something magical, like something weird in the drinking or tap water in Finnish thing. What do you think is the secret of Finnish bands having their own sound, no matter what the metal genre is in question?
I don't know if there's any secret. Every band, every country is having some own things. The Germans have really strange attitude towards some metal, like Scorpions, Edguy, and they have their own funny thing. And Norway has the real black metal thing, and Swedish is more happier side of even death metal, and Finland is more melancholic kind of style. I can think it's in our blood, and like our folkloristic music is really played in a minor key. Finnish folklore tales are really minor key tales. They are not so happy stories. Kalevala isn't so happy book in the end. There's lots of lost love, killing yourself, and this kind of nice things that are not in the Bible, for example. So that's one of the main reasons in our mind, stuck to our Finnish mind. And of course it's cliche, but it's the weather. If you
lots of darkness.
Darkness, cold, misery out there, so of course it's nicer to be inside your house and play music than play basketball on the street.
Yeah, we don't have
in the
California
winter.
sunset.
Yeah, if I would live in California, I wouldn't play in a metal band, that's for sure. I would have something else to do, I hope.
So what lies ahead in the future of Omnium Gatherum? You are going to play some shows, obviously, but what is your next big step?
It's a limbo cycle of life in living in a band, which means new album, new touring cycle, it's a limbo. But at the moment, next big thing is the, how you can say it, world tour. We are going at the first time to Australia and New Zealand. That's what I'm really looking forward to it. Especially the New Zealand, never been there before, and we have some Asia, Japan, China, Dubai, and on the same trip. So we are kind of touristic band. We love to travel. Still, we hate airports, but love to see different cultures, different countries. different record stores. We are vinyl freaks with this guy. We always our tourist attractions is like we are walking from the venue to many record stores, and then you see a lot of the city at the same time.
That actually brings me to the next question before we quit. Okay, you do a lot of shopping and all that stuff, and all kind of stuff happens when you're touring, drinking booze and whatnot. Thing is, people get older and the touring gets harder and heavier on your health and whatnot. How do you manage to keep yourself, say, healthy and fresh and all that stuff for the gigs and tours? Do you just have like health tips or programs or certain kind of food you need to do, whatever?
Not that.
Do we look like that?
Do we look like that? You keep your job away from your hobbies. That's the main thing. You keep the distance. Healthy distance between your job and your hobbies. And of course, you don't drink too much on tours. You don't, I do. But I don't know. It's been for me. Like he said, it's a limbo. 20 odd years on the road, but I'm still here, still doing what I love. Hopefully, continue to do in the future, and don't do hard drugs.
And nowadays, it's not alcoholistic if you are a craft beer man. Like, drink this craft beer, that's cool. If you drink plain beer, Budweiser, Miller, or Finnish, whatever, Karhu, that's alcoholistic.
Or this, then you're alcoholic.
This Mexican beer.
Yeah, Finnish Mexican beer.
Mexican Finnish beer.
Okay, last wish time. If you could choose any band, well, of those bands alive anyway or active, which band would you like to tour most with? If you, or warm up or whatever, if you get to choose.
At the moment, it would be Night Flight Orchestra because we've been always listening that band on the tours, and that's our traveling music. So, touring with that band, seeing that band live every night would be almost like our tour bus because we are every night listening to that band.
Do you agree?
I do. Either that or Toto, or Journey.
Or Emperor.
Emperor or Journey?
Yeah. Toto, Emperor, or Journey.
With these fine ideas, all the record labels and managers, agents, audience, whoever you are, if you can influence this fine, wish, do your magic and check out these guys, both on stage, on albums. And if you don't do that, well, it's shame on you. Rauta out, we're back on cruise.